Good morning everyone, welcome along to the National Hockey Centre here in Glasgow. It is the grand finals day here in the south side of the city. 4 exciting games across the women's and men's side. We've got the European places to sort out later in the day, but first of all it's promotion, relegation, and first up this morning is Inverleith against Grange. Inverleith, the National League 2 side, they finished in second place up against Grange, who were newly promoted through the playoff system last year, but they are looking to stay in the top flight, finish 9th in NL1, maybe expected to be down the bottom end of the table, but couldn't finish in the top 6, so they didn't win either yesterday. Neither of these teams won yesterday in the semi-finals, and they are here trying to secure or possibly get promoted their position in the top table. It's great to be here once again after the excitement of last weekend. Tues McGilvery, the former Scotland international, now GHK coach, who had a great win yesterday and thankfully not involved in coaching a side in the final to secure promotion and relegation. Well, relegation would be for GHK. Susan, great to have you here. First of all, I'm sure there's plenty of celebrations last night, which was good. So you're having a relaxed day now, watching hockey rather than being involved in coaching with it.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here on this side of the sidelines today. Very close game yesterday, but yeah, we were delighted to come through and secure our position in National 1 next season. And I'm sure this is going to be another close encounter to see who, as you say, either secures their position in the league or if Inverleith can actually get promoted.
Yeah, and you finished 7th against a side in Inverleith that you played yesterday, second in L2. It was a tight scoreline, the 1-0. Was that down to just the kind of occasion of a semi-final? Is it a case of there isn't much between the top end of the second tier and yourself? So what was the factors in it?
I think ultimately, yeah, we've maybe had a bit more experience playing in tighter games, high pressured games. They've obviously had a really positive season, have won a lot of games, so maybe we just had that little bit extra in the tank to get through. But I think it was definitely a closely fought encounter, and Inverleith are a very good side, and I think Grange have got a very tough game in their hands today.
Inverleith side captain by Sarah Mackay for Grange. Beth Dodds is their captain, as I mentioned. They were a team that got themselves up through the playoff system last year here in the final, and it is Grange in yellow to get us going. And Susan, you've played Grange a couple of times this season. What are the strengths and perhaps weaknesses of the Grange side?
Yeah, they're a very physical team. They get stuck in, if you call it that, and they've got a few good skillful players, a few young players sort of through the middle, and a bit of firepower. They're one of their sort of veterans I can see sitting on the sideline there. When she comes on, it adds a little bit of spice to it as well. So it'll be interesting to see how they set up and whether they try and play free-flowing hockey.
Steph Kirkland, one of the two at the back there for Grange. Well, this time last year, 12 months ago, Grange, a second tier side, lost in the semi-finals to Kelburn, but in the final played Erskine Stewarts and Melville, who were a National League 1 side, 8th last season. Went all the way to the shootout. Krista Hopkinson, the decisive, in fact, only scorer in the shootout. And maybe shows that the kind of strength and depth at the bottom end and the top end, because ESM weren't even near finishing second in the second tier. So it says a lot for the system and the way things can change over a year or so. And Inverleith looking to try and start positively. A bit of a turnover possession or two from both sides so far. Perhaps the break forward. Sophie Harris was through the middle. Out wide was Laura Prothero. Trying to work it in towards the circle. It was Harris in yellow that was there.
Yeah, Grange will be looking to take things pretty quickly. We noticed this yesterday. If you take things quite quickly, again, maybe a consequence of being in an attacking position a lot. Inverleith were maybe slow to set up sometimes, so I think Grange will be looking to capitalise on quick free hits and long corners and things in the attacking 25.
Mary Corrigan had support down that side. There's a wriggled by, will be another long corner.
Yeah, Mairead's done well actually. She's a former pupil of St Aloysius College in Glasgow, so she went off to Edinburgh University and has recently moved to Grange and is now playing, National 1 hockey. So she'll be looking to put in a strong performance in right defence today.
Krista Hopkinson, fan players mentioned that scored that winning shootout goal, a golden goal effectively. One of those the running shootouts are great, but it was one of those running shootouts last year which was a right nerve jangler. You get some of them that are goals aplenty, that one wasn't.
Yeah, and the more and more you spend, the more and more there are no goals, the more and more it just becomes even more nerve-wracking than it has to be. So I'm sure that was not a pleasant experience for the players involved in that.
Kirsty Moody there for Inverleith in the purple. A good little battle which is kept hold of the ball. Christina Farrer back it went.
Grange are just sitting off sort of half court at the moment, and that won't play very well into Inverleith's style of play because they enjoy running with the ball. So they've had to hit over distance there and they've turned it over.
Yeah, Turnbull making a good run. Prothero in the centre, took a deflection away of Farrer. And Woody trying to help it on its way. Nice little bit of play from Mackay, the captain, just managed to deflect it off a Grange stick, so it is a purple ball.
There's a lot of space on this right hand side. I'd imagine Inverleith are going to want to try and get the ball over here. Katie Swanson, has loads of space.
Yeah, steady first 5 minutes. Grange perhaps the first couple of minutes or so better with possession. Really have tried to just get some time on the ball, but that's been given away. Dodds forward. Twisting a turn from Prothero, but away it went defensively.
Yeah, Bethany Hutton did well there. I actually noticed her in the warm-up. She looked as if she'd hurt herself a wee bit, so I'm glad to see her. She's shaking that off, and that was a couple of great tackles from her. Defensive appreciation there.
So there's a Grange free hit. Boyle. Doherty. Hammering from Kirkland. Win back well. Campbell trying to work it in. Here's Harris. Kick away from the keeper. Louise O'Toole is in goal for Inverleith. Still not quite out of danger yet. That'll do for now, but well worked there from Grange.
Yeah, they did well. I think she just wanted a wee bit too long in the ball. It was obviously quite a busy D. She wanted to take her stick off the ball. I think you just need to keep your stick on the ball and get something at goal in those situations. Easier said than done.
Corrigan was on a run. Bounced up and that'll be a turnover.
Oh my goodness.
Lively one away from Katie Swanson.
Granger just left a wee forward up, so it's stopping Katie Swanson from wanting to go round the back, and she's just a bit stuck for options here going forward.
Control from Campbell, went back. Swanson will go all the way back and we'll try a different route. Swanson, good turn here from Barton, had support taken by Felicity McCarthy. Bethdo's doing some defensive work. I was looking down the channel for Campbell. I found yellow player. Now switching a counter attack here for Emmy Petrie. Harris to the left in support, just about makes it. With a flood of purple bodies back, but back it comes with Hopkinson. Wriggle through here, support and chance for Harris. Just pushed out wide, but they turned a defensive moment into a really good counter attack.
Yeah, absolutely. The final shot just sort of fell off the end of her stick, but Grange attacking right through the heart of the pitch there at speed, and Inverleith eventually did well to clear it, but could have fallen foul to a wee goal there. This is where Inverleith will start to come into their own, because they really enjoy dribbling with the ball. They did it a lot yesterday. And
Campbell doing some good work there, not perhaps the pass you wanted as Hopkinson was back. Control from McCarthy, but ball up, and it is a Grange free hit, which they quickly tried to get forward with pace. Only found Dinwoody.
Player down there just got caught with the follow through from the Grange player, but it's not a head injury, so the umpires won't be keen to stop play. She looks like she's struggling a wee bit.
Yeah, Rachel Campbell hobbling. Surprised no one ready to come on for her, but she's battling towards the sidelines. Yeah, Stephanie Baines will come on for her now. Wellesley gets a little bit of a look at. Mackay. Carthy was the one racing and just slightly misjudged a little bit there by Chantel Guillet.
I think she thought it was going to go off at the near post, not into the goal.
So Grange here in this final due to losing in the semi yesterday against Hillhead. It was 2-1 to Hillhead, as mentioned about the Inverleith game at GHK. The GHK party still going on, probably, apart from Susan not involved because she's professional. But we already know from the semi-finals GHK remain in NL1 for next season. What's going to happen here still? Nil-nil in these early stages is really looking to get promoted, of course. Farrar and to wriggle through the gap away by Hopkinson briefly though. Laverty around, one or two hands in the air looking for a penalty corner.
Yeah, and really frustrated there, but I think they just need to keep playing in those situations as hard as it is, and if they stick to what they're doing, eventually the corner that they want will come.
Alan Wall pretty animated down on the sidelines to the officials down there. Swanson. Harris doing her defensive job back to the long corner line. Swanson through the legs. Good dribbling there from Bain. Just runs out of room in the end. Up the other side. Good run from Corrigan. Oh, it wriggles through. It's surely going to come here for Harris. Not quite. Don't know if they're a bit of luck. He just seemed to skip away. The keeper may well have just done enough to put her off.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it was. The ball was sitting there waiting to be put in the back of the goal, but I think the keeper just did enough to make the player hesitate, and she just put her stick over the ball. Grange creeping into a press there. They've started off fairly deep, sitting just behind the 25, and their coach is calling stay, stay. But I think Lee actually ignored that call, and eventually they actually got a good press on in that left side.
Hopkinson wide. 3, 4, 5 yellow jerseys around. There is once again the figure of Sophie Harris. To the sideboard this time though. Stringer tried to help it on its way. They do get the free hit. Stringer found Bain. Trying to get wriggled by Hopkinson. But that'll end that as they're out the other direction.
Yeah, again, the Inverleith player there in the wide right, just wanting to dribble round the baseline. It's a good option for attacking, but again, she just ran out of space or gave the foul away, so they'll be wanting to tidy up on that to try and get some outcomes in the D.
Interesting 15 minutes so far. Both sides have had little waves of attacking possession. Perhaps Grange just slightly better of the half chances, but that's been stolen there by Hines. Hines' ball didn't find a teammate. High forward. Laverty recovered. Didn't recover the ball.
Yeah, I think in these first stages, both teams will just be trying to suss out what the other are doing, and then we'll probably start to see it open up. Obviously, it's a must-win game for both teams, so I would imagine that their presses will be a bit higher as the game goes on.
Here's Goodyear, good running here. Harris looking with an eye to the umpire. Umpires to this one incidentally are Sarah Cooper and Ellen Murray. Turnbull trying to get towards the D, arm out in her side's favour. Signal do like to get plenty forward in these positions, and good free hit position for Hopkinson. Wriggling by Dodds. Couldn't quite pick out Turnbull as intended.
Yeah, it's a bit of a perspective ball into the D. She was sort of half on the turn, just put it in, hoping to find a stick rather than actually being certain of what stick she was passing to. And on that occasion, it didn't quite come off for her.
Fortunate slip, which has seen Hopkinson fire in towards Harris. And well, she is the real threat in there, Harris, when she's got the ball with stick also in there, as well as Prothero. And both them, well, this time Prothero was in the position, but they seem to get the ball into the circle quite well, but can't quite find the space to get a turn and an effort and goal away.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's also a product of Inverleith's work rate. Like, there's been a lot of traffic in that D because Inverleith are working back really hard in defence.
It's a shot behind the goal, rather grey skies at the moment. There is a hint of sunshine around. Hopefully, it does say it's supposed to get warmer as the day goes on here. 4 matches at the midday. It's the men's promotion relegation. Well, I should just say it's a relegation playoff because both sides are National 1 teams and Dundee Wanderers and Livingston, so there will definitely be a top flight side, second top flight side going down. So that will be a feisty occasion, perhaps a very nervous occasion, we shall see. And then this afternoon, the European Grand Finals in the women's is Edinburgh University against Clydesdale Western, and then Grange against Grove in the men's Grand Final to decide spots 1 and 2 in European competition. Long it went to Lara Prothero. Options wide, but decides to go herself and keep on going. Rattle it up. Perhaps looking for a bit foot, but still alive. Bit turnover and maybe the chance for Inverleith to break.
Yeah, it's a lovely ball out of there. Composed ball out to the right from Bethany Hutton again, and it's set her team. Oh, it's set her team off, but they've just turned the ball over again, unfortunately.
Yeah, ending up with John Boyle, who made the good run forward. Prothero couldn't keep, but they do get the free hit to Grange. Been a better few minute spell for side in yellow now in this little phase of the first half. Rachel Bowen, good year. Might come back for Bowen through fortune. Bounced that off Goodyear's body, so it will be back with Grange. Hopkinson just about got the ball away for a pass.
Yeah,
and the first penalty corner of the contest coming off Bethany Hutton there. Looked like always the intention to try and find a foot, and it was found. So first 40-second period, which we'll see the tactics if you're attacking in Grange, and we'll see the gubbins going on for Inverleith defensively. Krista Hopkinson to inject here. A few round the circle, Doherty and Dodds central could well find its way through. Doherty is trapped for her. It's saved away.
Yeah, great save by the keeper there. Inverleith had a good corner defence set up yesterday as well. It took us a while to break that down, but great save by the keeper there, albeit a decent effort on the bottom right drag flick.
Still the side in yellow. Here's Prothero.
Yeah.
Obstruction, and that'll be the end of that move.
Yeah, just got a wee bit excited, and again Grange sitting off behind the 25, so they're happy for Inverleith to play with the ball in their own defensive 25, and then I think they'll creep into a press.
Inverleith are struggling over the last few minutes to get much possession. Back it comes with McNamara. Almost got round and kept hold of the ball. Still with the side in yellow. Here's Corrigan. Going to watch the tensions of Rachel Campbell. Doherty. Dodd's trying to help it on its way. Free hit right on the edge.
Did that go far? It's getting really congested around the top of that D in the middle. Grange will be wanting to probably start playing the ball wide a bit, or start playing the ball around the back a bit more to try and suck some of those Inverleith players back out again.
That was a quick 5 metres as well into the D, but it is rather it's congested perhaps as well, because Grange seem to flood so many forward, and it's pretty much a stalemate at the moment, but Inverleith are struggling with possession to really get a break on over the last 5, 6, 7 minutes.
Yeah, Inverleith are going to want to help this right defender here to get the ball out, which they've done.
Some support back there, and found Hines from Campbell. First time to be in the D for a little while. And found the first defender. Here is Swanson now.
She slipped. Oh my goodness.
Right, anyway, she could to get that back, but Dodds wasn't having it.
She's having a wee lie down after all that there.
Forward from Stringer. Just over 10 minutes left in this first half. No goals, been rather energetic. The first half been pretty quick. It's flew by so far. Hines ball only found Corrigan.
It's definitely been played at a decent pace. We can see the players coming off here, and they're obviously both teams have come through a tough encounter yesterday, trying to get the win that would have meant they didn't have to play today. But yeah, lots of tired legs out there, so they're definitely using all their benches to try and keep the intensity of the game up. Hope the Inverleith girls have got their gum shields on in this bench. That's the second time the ball's ricocheted off the pitch into bodies.
I think a car got it last week, went over the fence, so have to watch sometimes. Here's a good run. This is from Prothero. Just kept on going and kept on going. Eventually stopped in our tracks, and that, as ever, congested D down at that side.
Yeah, Kirsten Turnbull's been doing a good shift through the middle of that Grange side. She's really quick on the jump back, so as soon as her team or herself loses possession, she's straight down the throat of the Inverleith girl to try and win the ball back.
Well, Grange, 9th place in NL1, 10 points amassed, clear of Kelburn from the automatic relegation spot, but well away from safety. 13 points behind 6th place Dundee Wanderers, and I think we were having a chat, one or two of us in our team before we got started off here, and most playoffs you can usually see 2 or 3 teams from the league below, and perhaps the second bottom of the top league, as you like in other sports, but it's flipped in this format, and you mentioned it's a tough one to finish 6th in the league.
Yeah, well, we've obviously finished 7, so it's if you finish in 5th or 6th in this league, you're safe and you don't have any further games. Obviously, top 4 are playing for the European spots, and then it's to finish 7th in the league and still be playing off for relegation you could argue that's kind of harsh. But it is what it is, and we've got to play those rules, and we're just delighted that we came through that unscathed yesterday.
I guess, I mean, it could be a debate for another day. Is it a stronger relegation promotion system with 3 top flight teams involved, or would it be as strong with as 3 second tier teams? Well, here is a ball into the circle, but it'll be turned over. But could be a point that could be made, just to play devil's advocate.
Yeah, no, I could see it from both sides, and I think it all depends. You wouldn't know when you were making those rules what the standard of the leagues would be. You know, I think this year the National 2 sides, it was quite close at the top end of that table, so you could argue that maybe, you know, the third place team in that league could have merited a chance to play off. But I think in general, yeah, you need to try and set it up so that the top teams are going to be able to fight for their right to stay in there.
The Inverleith second in the second tier, 3 points clear of third place Gordonians, and 5 clear of ESM. So not a million miles apart, a few points perhaps, but certainly a lot of, I think we've kind of concluded over the first half so far that there is pretty much a good strength and depth, and certainly a closeness between the top of the second tier and the bottom of the first tier. As forward come the side in purple, good run it was from Listy McCarthy, but eventually defenders back.
Yeah, she was busy yesterday as well. She's not had as many of those long mazy runs that she had yesterday so far in this game, so if Inverleith can get her on the ball and in space, I think there'll be some danger.
Harris skips off her foot, but carry on as she carries on. Away it goes by Dunwoody. String it. That's a cutting pass which is picked out with McCarthy superbly, taking on Hopkinson. Hopkinson with a slip. But well recovered, and that's the end of the move, which might be a little bit disappointing if you're an Inverleith supporter. And look at that little layoff here at the other end for Kirsten Hay. It was great work from Harris to get the pass.
Yeah, the game's just opened out here in the last sort of 30 seconds to a minute, and now we're seeing these players that we were saying about getting a wee bit of space and time to run, which will just turn it into a slightly different game for these last 4 minutes if it keeps going.
Doty's ball cut out.
Yeah, there's nobody making any kind of lead for her wide on that attacking right side for Inverleith there. So Sarah Mackay was forced to go back.
Terminal had to watch because the pass was behind her, but won it back and passed it along. Campbell with the run down the channel. Stopped though by the wall of purple defenders. There might be a wall of yellow attackers, but similar amount of numbers defensively. It's risky stuff, but they eventually get a bit of breathing space to Inverleith.
Yeah, they're playing that ball a lot, Inverleith to their right defender, but they're not getting probably the results out of it they want. There's not the early pass forward. More often than not, it's kind of getting turned over again.
That's rattled forward here, and the turn, and Watson just bubbles wide, but that was one cutting pass, and there was a bit of space this time, but not quite the finish, the execution.
Yeah, I think the keeper, Louise O'Toole, had that covered. Her angles were good there, so there's an Inverleith player off at the back. I think that's the girl I was saying at the start of the game. I thought she'd looked like she hurt herself, so maybe whatever that was has come back to haunt her.
Yeah, we've seen the Barton went off. Of course, the sub just happening continuously, but Swanson back on, and we've got 2 minutes left of this first half. Good work to get it out the danger area for Inverleith. Swanson forward, that was a stick that was high and a half, that. It was Doherty's stick.
It was a good line taken by Katie Swanson on the pass, but I think it was just the pick-up was a bit dodgy.
What wasn't in the plan book there, and wasn't held by Bowen as she initially couldn't pick it up, but she has got it back now. Final 35 seconds of the half. Is there one final chance? Probably not with that kind of pass. Goes straight into Swanson's path. Doherty just going to go for the hit and hope, which will come to anything, as that is the hooter for half time. And no goals in this opening game of the day in this promotion and relegation playoff in Inverleith of the second tier. Holding off Grange, who know what it's like to get promoted from these playoffs. They did it last year in this playoff final, but at the moment no goals as of yet. And both sides have had their moments. Is there anyone really standing out for you? Is the team standing out for you at all?
It's been an even-sided match. I think obviously both teams are very nervous about what this match means, and I think there's not been much shown from either team yet. There's been a couple of phases of one team having a wee bit of the better of the other, but I'd say, on the whole, I'd say Katie Swanson's having a great game so far. She's been on the ball loads. She's done quite well, and I'd say the girl going through the middle for Grange, Kirsten Turnbull, another youngster, looks as if she's having a great game. So if both teams can keep looking to those girls to start getting themselves more and more into the game, it'll probably be an interesting second half.
Yeah, just looking through some of the chances of the first period, all the half chances we've seen so far coming through have been coming from the side in yellow. Sophie Harris lively, that was Courtney Doherty from the penalty corner. So the sort of glimmer of chances have been from Grange, which might be telling. Yeah,
I think on balance, I'd say Grange probably have had certainly the more often they have been in the D, but again, Inverleith's goalkeeper Louise O'Toole's been the match of anything that they've put against her, so she's having another great game, which she did yesterday as well, to be fair to her.
Okay, we'll take a pause for now. We'll be back shortly for the second half, but at the break here in this promotion relegation playoff is Inverleith 0, Grange 0.
used to have the railway warning ones. If you went to railway, somebody gets positioned up, you've got to do it. So that's what you'd always do. You used to that in the night shift in the station. So for a new recruit, you always pick it up to the air compressor under his bed. And we'd make the wee small hours. See how high you can get the new recruit to go. I'm through Edinburgh. Very good, actually. I know I love the team.
Well, back out for the second half, Inverleith and Grange still on out. Well, this match is moving up to Division 1. The 12 o'clock is mentioned to order versus Huddersfield. Relegation battle winners take Division 1 and the losers relegated.
Welcome back to the second half of this first game of the day, this promotion relegation playoff between Inverleith and Grange. No goals so far in the first 35 minutes. Not been, I would say, a cagey first half. It's had its moments. Grange perhaps the better of the half chances, but both sides had their spells of possession. But I think that we're in agreement, Susan, that probably Grange just fractionally the better side, as you might well expect with the position in the league. But this is two sides. Inverleith's been used to winning all season, albeit in the second tier. Grange have had the battle. So it'll be interesting to see what the mindset will be and what the thoughts will be of both sides as the second period gets underway.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's one of those, at what point does just how the rest of the season's been, at what point does that just go out the window and you just need to knuckle down and get this victory? But yeah, I do agree. I think if we're being honest, I think Grange were the better side in terms of attacking opportunities in the first half, but Inverleith won't take that lying down. They'll be looking to, as I say, get those runners on the ball. Once they've got some time and space, they will attack at speed, and they've got an opportunity here because of a misplaced pass out the back from Grange, uncontested.
And Sarah Mackay was on a sprint. She clipped there. Well, she was on the floor. Corrigan one penalised, but that was a bit too quick that time, as that doesn't work out, the move. Steph Kirkland cross there for Grange, and Turnbull. They wriggle it through the gap, not quite picking out Petrie, who was furthest forward in yellow.
Yeah, I think Kirsten Turnbull going through the middle there, she was heading out to the right. I think she would have preferred a bit of help from someone leading out to that corner. I think she was a bit isolated and ended up trying to put the ball through the middle and straight into an Inverleith stick.
Not the plan, because Dodds gets it back. It'll be a cheap way to concede, and they've conceded a penalty corner. Kirsty Dunwoody incensed, but penalty corner given.
Yeah, a few questions for the umpire, but it's not going to change the decision.
Plenty of discussions going on. Only had one penalty corner previously in the game in the first half. A decent try of that penalty corner from the other side. Hopkinson to inject. Doherty for the first one. Took an effort. Will be her again. Not the best really. Off target.
Yeah, off target, but again, I think the keeper would have got that. So they're going for the corners on these corner options, Grange. You wonder if they'll maybe start doing an option and trying to attack from the middle of the D, maybe a deflection. They need to win another corner first.
Which is one thing I would say, they've been at very much a premium so far. Just the two in the whole game, both for Grange. But always tend to tie up a bit when teams get tired and the games go on. Maybe I'll have cursed that, I'll have no more, but I'd be surprised.
It's supposed to be an advantage to win a corner, but sometimes if your corner battery isn't going as well as you'd like, sometimes you don't actually gain much advantage from them. So both teams on their next opportunity, if they get one, will be looking to be a bit more slick with their corner options.
O'Toole will be able to win it back initially. Now it comes with Dodds. And there is another penalty corner. Good
Phew.
call, good prediction. Probably wasn't the most boldest prediction of the day so far, but we've got another one anyway, and that was a pretty slam dunk case.
Plenty of time for that.
Blue sky is now showing, which is good.
There's a wee 1 centimetre square patch of blue sky.
Try to be positive here. So another shot for Grange and Hopkinson, looking to try and make a penalty corner pay. Different routine to Dodds this time. And there is the backboard hit. And there is the opening goal. And for Grange, it could well be important. Save our season goal.
Yeah, good strike there. Obviously it went straight to the L1 player, which threw Inverleith a little bit. Their number one runner's very fast, but she didn't get an opportunity to do that roll in that occasion. And a good hard sweep has eventually beaten Louise O'Toole in the goal.
Well, you wouldn't say it's been coming at full pelt of pressure, but certainly the better chances have came for Grange, and now Inverleith will have to change the mindset here. Barton doing well on the baseline. Couldn't pick out the tassel, he found Kirkland in yellow.
Ooh. Yeah, Inverleith have plenty of time to get a goal back, and even better. And certainly yesterday, speaking from experience, when we eventually did score against them, it certainly didn't. No heads went down, and they kept fighting just as hard, if not harder, to equalise.
Stringer found Farrer. Only one there for was Rosina Barton. Here's now a little look at this penalty corner goal. It's stolen from Stringer's grasp. Prothero did well looking for it back, perhaps from Harris, but too much on the pass back. It may well took a nick, and it did take a nick off a defensive stick. No, in fact, it didn't actually in the end.
Yeah, I think eventually Inverleith just put enough pressure on to force the ball off the back and a hit out. But well matched up back there in defence. There's all the Inverleith girls are back doing their jobs to try and stop the Grange attack.
It's into Freshie, that pass. And it's staying, not quite, for Campbell.
Yeah, plenty of time again for Inverleith to bring this back, but you do wonder when they might start trying to press a little bit higher on Grange. Still kind of sitting off in those outlet in situations.
Well, we've seen yesterday in the semi-finals Hillhead after they got their promotion, or they had their place sorted. They were involved in the playoff system last year. They retained their status this year as well. Grange promoted last year, looking to stay in the top flight for the second tier and doing exactly just that as it stands with 10 minutes gone of the second half. But Inverleith still only the one behind on the scoreboard now, so plenty of time as we mentioned. But going up the other end, a little bit of control from McNamara, and it comes towards the circle. Keeper involved.
Yeah, the defender did really well there. It was a reverse stick pickup. Absolutely nailed it, and then straight back out on reverse as well. Very casual.
Campbell at the other side. Barton was trying to take things on. She does get the free hit. Space almost picked out there for McCarthy, who does get it back here from Turnbull. McCarthy in the solo dribble. Well, stick from Doherty. After looking for, I think, a foot, which didn't come.
I think she was trying to do the right thing. She was trying to get a lifted ball across the D, and when lifted balls go flying across the D in that kind of close range, it's really difficult to defend against, and you find a lot of corners being given away. But again, it just kind of fell off her stick. But the idea is good, so they'll be trying to do that again.
Didn't work out in the end. As a flyer, which will be immediately a changeover because it went up mid-air. Dangerous with so many players around.
Yeah, there's a big gap.
And Woody's found that gap, but not the control in the circle.
Yeah, again, they're just getting a wee bit bogged down on that right-hand side, Inverleith, when they try and outlet up that side. They tend to turn over possession. They'll be looking to fix that.
Here's Hayen, slower on herself. Looked like it bounced perhaps off her foot. One or two arms in the air. Carry on though with Doherty. Hopkinson. Corrigan in space. Barton sliding in. I don't know if you could hear that, but we could hear that from here. But the umpire across there saying no shouting from the sidelines, please, to the Grange bench. You're looking for a penalty corner for the coming together. That's them told. McNamara and some shove in there, which has resulted in a penalty corner now. But
yeah, they got their corner in the end. I think from the perspective that we were looking at it, which is the same as the Grange coach, it looked like a bit of a body check on Mairead, but I think it was more just a coming together. It's a physical game we're playing, and I didn't think it was a corner to begin with, but quite an easy one in the end. Inverleith not covering their feet.
well, as a signal, they're starting just to rack up penalty corners, scored from their last one. What the team will go with this time with Hopkinson at the injection point. Went for the same route. They might still get a second try. It's off the post there from McNamara. Harris trying to work it with Doherty, and Dodds was around too, but in the end it was McNamara with the effort, which just by it went off the woodwork.
Yeah, another direct attempt. So that's 3 from 3, sort of the more direct shots at goal that Grange have failed to score from. They scored from more of an option or a shot from a different angle than the top. So it's definitely a strength of Inverleith, is the running down the number 1 shot.
Good play from Hines here at the other side. Is it going to come through? Not quite. In the central position was Mackay. Hines again comes through for Campbell. Away it went.
Yeah, we
From
bit
danger by Kirkland.
last ditch defending there from Grange, but Sophie Hines busy as she was yesterday. She's another very, very skillful player for Inverleith, and she did well there.
It comes for McCarthy.
Ooh.
Just by it went. Not too many actual efforts on goal. Probably about the first one actually I can think of, really.
Yeah. And still Inverleith are sagging back here, but there's a wee bit of a jump press, but she's on her own. Umpire's just playing advantage there, which fair enough, just let the game flow.
Yeah, Richard Campbell coming off her foot, pain and giving away the. Well, it would be a free hit, but they got the advantage. A proper double whammy. That's loose. Here comes Hay. And the Liberals will be a bit relieved with that. It just seemed to come through so nicely for her. Big gap in the defence. Dodd this time. And with the foul and a few of these little sore ones coming into the contest, getting a little bit more physical as the games went on.
Yeah, it's getting more physical, but I know they've eventually got the foul like that, but Inverleith actually made it hard for themselves in there because they've left their left defender with basically one pass option. Their midfielder quite far away from the ball there.
Stand has been filling up as the game has went on. Some supporters on both sides here, and it will continue to grow. Support as we get through the day. We've got the other playoff, the relegation playoff, which it 100% ends between Dundee Wanderers and Uddingston. Dundee Wanderers men shocked yesterday. Solians returning to the top flight, so we've got 2 promotion sides. So that means one must go down, but now ball given away for Grange, and Dodd's good work, and another penalty corner conceded. And Inverleith are conceding far too many now after not really conceding many before the last 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, the last 10 minutes haven't been great for Inverleith, but that's just hockey. Sometimes the game will go through various phases, and Inverleith just need to keep believing that their phase, if you like, will come back round and they'll have another period of strong attack. They just need to defend this corner first because they won't be wanting to lose a second goal.
So what's the plan this time for Kristen Hopkinson and their side? Hopkinson to deliver once more. 18 minutes left in the clock. It is back with Dodds, like the first goal, like the second goal, and is that safety? So 2 for her, and we talked about just beforehand, you mentioned that the straight shots or deliveries into the centre hasn't really worked, but the 2 that came from that near side there has worked beautifully. Yeah,
I think Grange have now identified, well, possibly they could have gone for that, the corner before that, because that's what scored for them, but they've definitely identified that Inverleith are running down number 1 shots quite well, so they're now trying to change the point of attack, which I think's the right thing to do, and certainly it's got them another goal, so they'll be delighted with that.
2-0 in hockey is still not really a huge score, but it seems a long way back for Inverleith now, who haven't really threatened too many times in clear-cut chances.
Yeah, I think we spoke in the first half that Grange had maybe had the better of the attacking opportunities, and certainly Inverleith haven't made any change to that in the second half. So, but as you say, it's hockey. You can get a lot of goals in not a long space of time, so Grange will need to be solid in defence for the last 15 or so minutes. Yeah.
McCarthy did really well to pick out the space. Means couldn't control.
Yeah, Felicity McCarthy loves running with the ball, but I think the difference today is that they're just not getting that next pass quite right.
Here's Prothero though. Needs some support. Oh, she's looking for a foot or some support. McNamara was nearby.
See, Inverleith have just won a free hit there, took it quickly, but actually they weren't set up themselves. They'll want to just get their stick on the ball and try and get a bit of possession and just build themselves back into this game.
Well, they've won back here, Bain. Here's Campbell and a foot race. Hopkinson favourite. Well, she just diverts it wide. Look at the yellow player's back. Doesn't really find anyone of substance. And away it comes from Grange and Turnbull, looking for the speculative forward for Prothero.
Again, the left defender a wee bit isolated up there, but she's done well. And they've got a ball through into the midfield, but just turned over there. And turned back over again.
Farah. From the wing, but back it comes Mackay. Stringer. Harrison. Well, it came nicely for Bain. And can get past Kirkland. Farah from the free hit. Absolute mess in there, no idea what's going on. It's it kind of came in so slow, and then a whole bunch of bodies around.
I was trying to find my measuring tape to see if that ball had actually gone 5 before she dribbled into the D, but the umpires obviously thought so.
There has been one or two that mean a little bit like that. They're looking like awfully quick into the circle.
A small 5. See, ideally we want to see the game starting to open out and swing a wee bit more so that Inverleith can get themselves on the ball. But actually Grange seem to be coming more and more into it.
Yeah, and Prothero found support in Harris. Right, it comes to 23 with Goodyear. Through the heart of the Dean, looking for that touch which would certainly seal it once for all, but not quite.
Did well again. Again, it's a wee bit isolating back there for that left defender. I'm just having sympathy for the left defenders because that's a position I used to play. And it can feel a bit like you're quite under the cosh a lot of the time.
I've heard of goalkeepers union. They've got left defenders union. That's a new one.
I am the one and only member of it, I think.
Get a whip round. We'll get one started.
Thanks.
Here's Goodyear.
Yeah, Katie Swanson doing really well again up that right hand side, and actually now Inverleith have got a good opportunity here. I think that was possibly a time to move the ball on rather than dribble, because the ball's going to move faster than any running player, but elected to try and run with it.
McCarthy just about found Mackay, who had to play it on forward.
Oh, great lead. High and wide, and she was just a wee bit away from making that pick up in behind all of those defenders. Oh.
Farah wasn't too happy, I think, with the decision. There is a card going to come out. I think she was maybe asking about that, the Inverleith player. So Dodds, our opposite number, is away off for a green card. First one we've seen in the game for a couple of minutes.
Yeah. Inverleith will be wanting to capitalise on this, give them and their supporters something to cheer about. They actually came through yesterday with a purple submarine to support, also known as a supporters bus, but
Marketing, eh?
you know, it's not sunny today. I think they must have been fair weather fans.
Well, 2-0 to Grange. I could get started in yellow submarine jokes, but I'll maybe hold off till full time. Here's McCarthy on one of her roving runs again. Into that good spot, but Campbell had the defender alongside. Packet comes though for the long corner. Larson found Stringer, and it comes. Fringe of that circle, lofted lovely by Campbell. Support was around, back it'll come. Shouts for penalty corner, and a few cheers and applause on the Inverleith bench. They got their first chance from a penalty corner.
Yeah, player up, and now they've got their first corner. Let's see what they make of this.
Yeah, as I say, this first penalty corner they've had in the game. It's taken to the 62nd minute. There's 8 minutes left on the board in the ground. So, expectation here, can they get one back? Hopkinson in the middle. There's chat for her. Control, took the time off the legs, and then the rebound, take two, perhaps a third goal. Mackay was there from Boyle, who was around.
Yeah, a couple of really good saves from the keeper there. And actually, really good pickups in the second phase from Inverleith to get the second and third shot away at goal.
Yeah, Mackay and Campbell both trying to cause a problem.
They should take heart from that though, Inverleith. That's a good wee period of play for them, and they'll be looking to get another corner because they weren't far away there.
Well, Harrison playing with fire, and Prothero's got it back here. Fire with too much gusto.
Yeah, I think the coach is just shouting that from the side as well. I don't think she needed to hit that ball as hard as she did across. A bit more sympathetic.
Yeah, Harris was in a great spot in the middle, a couple actually in there, and they did have space. Head in the hands. Been there, Alan Wall, the Inverleith coach. Pretty vocal. In fact, both sides have been pretty vocal.
Yeah, there's a lot riding on it.
And now Harris, but no.
Well, maybe she should have just hit that one. The pickup wasn't quite what it needed to be on that occasion.
Yeah, Ross Parker and Andy Graham, the coach and team manager down there for Grange. One half of them Australian, and I think parents watching on back in Australia, so international.
Oh.
Watson, and that's a classic bit of fencing rather than hockey. All going off now.
Yeah.
Cards coming out. Now like confetti. Another green card being flung out now. It's in release turn to go down to 10, which will not help them out.
No. I think Rachel Campbell just got a wee bit frustrated there. There's obviously a lot riding on the game, but easier said than done sometimes to keep your composure.
Turn ball. Using the baseline like a train track. Can pick out the teammate. Farah likewise for Inverleith. Final 5 here. Some slow run that was from Hutton, and support around, but it'll be Inverleith ball. Boyle off the range foot. Through the middle, it might come here for Mackay. Keeper comes out, Mackay tries to get some help. Dive, and no one there nearby. Looks like we're going to have a change up, and the keeper going to come off, and they're going to try the kicking back for the last just over 4 minutes.
Yeah, Inverleith were forced to do this yesterday as well, obviously being 1-0 down in the game against GHK. So
there's a bib colour confusion.
They're not letting them put a bib on, they're making it be a separate actual strip. Oh no, it's because the umpires are the same colour. So we delay.
So it's good luck to Amy Harrison. So it's a full brunt of any pain, perhaps, if has to defend, but can play as an outfielder with the goalkeeping privileges. To Moody. You can get score now. It would certainly make a fast in the last 4 minutes.
No.
And that definitely isn't how to score.
There's something on the pitch keeper's not happy with.
Some debris of sorts.
Well, there was a dead pigeon at the side of the GHK pitch yesterday, so I don't think it's anything as extreme as that.
That's gross.
Fact of the day.
Apologies if you're eating your brunch at 11:15 in the morning.
I'm just telling you what happened.
Being putting the pressure on, but to no avail. Turnbull trying to dance away. Look at all the purple jerseys around. Ball from Dunwoody. Through the legs by Bain. Almost taken on by Campbell. Back on. Back to
This is
11
not
side.
going to be. I was worried for Inverleith there for a second when Lee McNamara picked up the ball in the middle and Grange are sitting with two high players up near the baseline.
Here's Barton winning back. I'm out for Simon Purple, needing 2 goals in 2.5 minutes. Swanson. Oh, and it's got a touch. Wasn't sure it was going to get a touch. It was so powerful, but they have got one. 2 minutes 15 left on the clock.
Yep, great. And they've sprinted back with the ball. No time for much celebration. And they're ready to go again. So your fast and frenetic finish that you were asking for is on.
I'm going by the celebration. It looks like Sarah Mackay has got the captain's goal. She was the one with the first arm in the air. There was 3 players in there, so I think it's her that's got it. So it's 2-1 here. But now there's a problem at the other end because Turnbull, with no keeper, they've got to watch as well, but they can just try and keep possession too.
Oh my goodness.
Well, play on, say the umpires, and now Watson. Controversial perhaps. Away it goes by Harrison. Only as far as Campbell. There's going to be a green card here. So Grange down to 10 now with Turnbull, Kirsten Turnbull on the sidelines.
Yeah, she's had a great game as well. It's a shame she's finishing the game off.
Like what you did there.
Yeah, I didn't actually mean it.
To fair, Grange have been doing well to keep hold of possession. That bounce off a foot though. Chaos going on here, by the way. Boyle only found that yellow player. Oh, stick came in, advantage for Bain.
Inverleith
Into
will be
the
wanting a
circle.
wee corner here.
Oh, is it going to come through? It's still alive. It's an absolute scramble. It is a
It's a
Celtic
corner.
corner. They're cheering as if they've scored. There's 20 seconds left. It's going to be the final play of the contest. The pressure.
Exciting. Girls just need to focus on doing their jobs here. And yeah, that's the final hooter, so they'll be able to have everyone up round the edge of the D. So Grange really are battling an overload situation here. And there's confusion as to who's going to do the jobs at the corner, which Grange could probably do without.
This could be a slight tactical. Let's just take a little bit 40 seconds defensively, perhaps. But Harrison, who has been playing kicking back last 4 minutes, is in position here. Everyone around for Inverleith. Attention, final play. It's Campbell, the Rachel Campbell, number 16, the one in the centre, possibly the one to watch, but so many options with so many around. It comes towards Campbell. It's saved, and that is that. And it is Grange who retain their status in the top flight. 12 months ago they won in the final here, which secured a place with promotion. Had a difficult first season back in the top flight, but they've done enough. Didn't win yesterday, but have got the win today, despite a nervy ending over Inverleith, who have played well all throughout the season in NL2 with 13 wins across the board. In fact, they're only 2 points away from winning the league. That's how close it was, but they aren't going to make it up. But perhaps could well be pretty much joint favourite for next season. Exciting old end.
Yeah, couldn't get much more of an exciting end to the game, and obviously I think it was Rachel Campbell at the top. She'll be disappointed for not executing the corner on the day, but I'm sure she's been doing that all season, and it just wasn't to be today. But Inverleith should be very proud of the sort of efforts that they've put in across this weekend. They more than deserved their place.
Here's the goals. So that was the opening goal. Now look from a different angle, and it'll be pretty much a carbon copy for both of them, because both very similar.
Yeah, for all that the keeper was good with her angles and the open play shots, that's disappointing that snuck in at the near post there.
I say this is a different goal, but very similar result in a similar position.
Yeah. And I suppose Grange identified, that's where to attack from. It worked the first time, so right to try it again, and they got their second goal. Yeah, that one's gone through her legs, which is so disappointing for a goalie, and she had such a good game otherwise, apart from those key moments.
So Grange relatively comfortable, but the pressure the last 5 minutes or so, and then they got the goal here, and I think Mackay, going by the celebrations, got the final touch. It was the ball that whistled in from Swanson. Might get a better look here actually. I think Mackay got it, but certainly it was a lively old ending after that, and but in the end just enough for Grange. It's been great to get your thoughts, Susan. I guess I have to ask you very quickly, obviously we've got 3 games still to come, but one particularly of interest for you being former club captain of Clydesdale Western. That'll be an exciting one, a rematch of last year's cup final, the European playoff as well. Yeah,
absolutely. It's always a really close encounter, hardly fought encounter between those girls, Edinburgh University and Clydesdale Western, but I would say it's possibly closer this season than it's been in seasons gone by. So Clydesdale Western beat Edinburgh University in the league just a few weeks ago, so I really do think it's anyone's game, and both teams will have to be at the top of their game to come out on top in that contest.
Glad you airbrushed a 7-0 win for Edinburgh Uni at the start of the season. But
I said it's been closer in recent years. Yeah, no, definitely. I think there's a lot of quality in both of those teams. Both teams with some Commonwealth Games players, and also with Western. There's some girls that are still at school playing in that first 11. So it's great to see those girls getting put out at that level. That'll be a great occasion for them, and I'm sure their families will be along supporting as well.
That is to come. Susan, say thanks very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
And coming up next, we'll be back just before midday at Dundee Wanderers against Uddingston. It is officially a promotion relegation game, but trust me, it's a relegation playoff, because one of these sides will be going down from the top division. Do join us at around about 11:55. But the final score in the women's promotion relegation playoff, Grange stay in the top flight with a 2-1 win over Inverleith.